Welcome, everyone. Wonderful to have everybody here. Tonight, Daf Yomi at 8 features the beginning of the Perek Chelik, which is the biggest Perek of Agadata in the entire Shas. It's really a fascinating Perek, and as everyone is invited to join us for the learning of Perek Chelik, which starts off, of course, with the famous Kol Yisrael Yeshlam Chelik L'Olam Haba. Tonight we also have, afterwards, we're going to learn a Chok. So we have a full schedule this evening. We learn here, continuing Masechtas Idiyos with Mishna Yud and Mishna Yud Aleph, sponsored by the Fisher family, Lila Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbat, Shlomo ben Avram Levi, and Perel Bas Ruvain, also Lila Nishmas David ben Chaim, L'Fu Shalem Fel Yomis Mechaisar, Yaakov ben Basi Aleah, for the schus of Avram ben Yom Benish ben Malki Yudis and family, by Yol Klugman and family, for their Parnasa Gesund and Nachas, L'Fu Shalema, for Moshe Meir ben Esther Fradel, Rivka Bashir Aleah, Devar Bas Shashabina, and Meir ben Chayesara. Now, when a person gets to Yerushalayim and he wants to spend the money of his Meiser Sheni, so now he has to do the reverse. He has to take the silver coin and exchange it into prutas. So a pirate seller shall Meiser Sheni b'Yerushalayim, Beishamayim b'chol ha'selamois. He could convert the whole seller. He could take 768 prutas and he could have a ball. Beisil says, no, we don't want him. He might not spend all that money. Then he's going to end up going back with copper, and the copper is going to corrode, and next time he comes back, it's not going to be worth as much. So Beisil b'shekel kesef or b'shekel mois. Remember, it's 2 shkolim in a seller. So he should keep a shekel kesef, and the other 384 prutas he could exchange to copper. Beisil says, Hadonim l'fnei chachamim aimrim, those that debated before the chachamim, they say, no, you shouldn't even exchange so much copper. Rather, remember we said there's 4 dinner in a seller. You should keep shloisha dinarim kesef, 3 dinner of kesef, and ubedinner mois, and in that 1 dinner that you do exchange, he could take a quarter of that dinner as copper, which means that you could take from the whole amount only a 16th of copper. Rabbi Akiva Aimer, b'shloisha dinarim kesef, he says even less. 3 dinarim kesef, uva-ravias kesef, Reb Tarfon arba aspere kesef. Reb Tarfon says in that 3 dinrim should be kesef. The final dinner, 4/5 of it should be left kesef, and only 1/5 of the final dinner should be prutas, which is 1/20th of the whole. Shammai says, you know what? We don't want you walking around with a pocket full of copper. You might forget that it has Kedushas Meiser Sheni and spend it at the arcade. We can't have that to happen. So Shammai Aimer Yanichenu B'chanos, you're supposed to spend money of Meiser Sheni on food. You leave the seller at the grocer, V'yoichel Kenegda, and you keep on eating against the tab of that seller. That way you're not walking around at all with money of Meiser Sheni. Now remember I told you that this Masechta is extremely varied and goes from one subject all the way over to the next subject. So the next subject, which is also a Mishnah in Kalim in Masechtas Taras, the next subject is a Kala's chair. You know, like we have that big white chair that she wears by the Bedekin. So kisei shel kala shenitlu chifuyav. If the kala's chair had its armrests removed, can it still be Mekabel Tumah? Beis Shammai Mitamin. Beis Shammai says it could still be Mekabel Tumah. It could still be used as a regular chair. Or Beis Hillel Mitar. Beis Hillel says no kala is going to sit on such a chair without armrests, and therefore it is in its purpose broken, and if it's broken, it's not Mekabel Tumah, and therefore Matarin. Shammai Omer, Shammai, the elder Shammai, goes even a step further. Even if it doesn't have its back anymore, it just has af malbein shel kisei. Malbein is a lashon of brick, but it just has the seat of the chair. Still tummy. It's still Mekabel Tumah because it could still serve its function of sitting upon it. Now, the next subject we'll talk about is a different subject, and that's the subject of Tumas Medris. A Zav, a Zava, a Nida, they're Metame b'mishkav v'moshev, by sitting upon something or laying upon it, making it an avatuma, and they're metamet even if they don't touch it. Even if there's 10 things in between it, there's 10 cushions on it, they're still metamet. But that's only if it's something that's made liyeshiva. Let's say you have a chair, a wooden chair or whatever, kisei, shekvoi ba'areva. They took it, and they took the chair, and they attached it to a trough. In the trough, they needed a shelf. So they took the chair, and they attached it to the trough. So the question is, now that it's attached to the trough, maybe it's not considered a chair anymore. Beis Shammai Metam. Beis Shammai says it doesn't lose its status of Tumah. Or Beis Hillel Metar. Beis Hillel says no, once it's attached to the trough, it loses its status of a chair, and it's not Mekabel Tumas Medris anymore because it's not Oimid Yeshiva. Shammai Omer, Shammai says, not only that, but even if the chair was never an independent chair, but was built together with the trough. So it was built together with the trough for a function as a shelf, still since it's suitable to sit upon. Shammai Omer Afa Osiba, even if it wasn't just attached to the trough, but it was built with the trough, still since it's suitable to sit upon it, it's Mekabel Tumas Medris. It becomes an Avatuma if a Zav sits on it, if a Nida it sits on it, and it becomes Tameh even if they don't come into contact with the chair itself. Chanani ben Akasha Amaratza Kadosh Baruch Hu L'Zakos Yisrael L'Fika Chir B'Lehem Torah Mitzvahs Shenema